Om Shanti, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. Welcome to your next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna, and America is bubbling. And I hope you saw the ad. We're going to be doing Meditate the Vote on November 2nd between 1 and 2:30 at the Meditation Museum. Please, if you have friends in the DMV, whether they're in Washington D.C, Maryland, or Virginia, could you pass it on? We would love to get the room packed, standing room only. So our role at the Meditation Museum is to create the calm before we get to the polls, to be calm when we're at the polls, and definitely to maintain calm on November 6th after. And so it is our pure wish that you can join us, even if it's from spirit. Just join us for Meditate the Vote. You know, I've mentioned this before in some of my conversations with friends and community. If God were to sit in a war room, would he tell leaders to release bombs on his own children? I doubt it. I doubt it. And I think internally, very intimately, when we turn inwards and connect to Source, we feel a very compassionate Source. We feel a great deal of love Source. We feel a love that will not hold our limitations or weaknesses in the heart of His Supreme Being, the Supreme Power. The Supreme Source will not look at His own child and say, you're defected, get out, you're not important, move away. But sometimes I wonder if God were human and He would descend on earth and He would look at our condition, how would He feel? I'm just inviting you to think in this context. Your Creator, your mother, your father, your teacher, your guru, your best friend, your guide, your supreme power, that this energy would descend on earth. And we've heard in biblical and religious stories that at some point in time God will come and it will be Armageddon. That's not the God I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one that when you're quiet or you're hurting, and you call on this source of energy, you feel loved and you feel healed. And you feel this concept in your conscience, such a compassionate being. And perhaps that's why in so many cultures around the world, folks who have some sort of a religiosity, deeply privately inside, there's an intimate connection to Source. And they can feel that this Source is very compassionate. For the week we've been discussing the quality and the virtue of compassion, and that what the world needs is more compassion. Stop looking at the defects of one another, but more importantly, be compassionate with yourself and stop getting stuck in your own defects. Remember these sessions? Today is to look at God as a compassionate God, and how He's helping, she's helping, how the supreme energy is helping the spirit if I connect, if I think of this being. You spend time, you like to be around souls that are very optimistic, positive, loving, kind, souls who help you to move forward. And when you're around souls who are negative, lazy, slothful, you feel you don't want to be around that energy because you can get pulled in it. You might also be on the borderline. So you're like, I don't want to be around an addict. I don't want to be around somebody who's arrogant and vicious. I don't feel comfortable around somebody who's slothful or lazy. And so you go, it scares me because the energy attracts and energy spreads. And so when we're around negative energies, it spreads. When we're around positive energy, it spreads. When we're around intelligent energy, it spreads. There's some energies you can just surrender to because you know they'll take care of you. And there's some energies you go, I can't trust that. I don't know what will happen if I do. But imagine if 8 billion souls remembered God as the supreme energy of love and positivity. Man, we'd be a civilization of compassion, I tell you. Think about it. That there's going to be this energy in us that allows people to be who they need to be. Definitely when they're growing and doing their best, you don't need to say much, but if you do speak, you encourage them. You're doing good. I'm so proud of you. Somebody will only say that because you really are. And then there are those teachings that come that feels a little harsh. Come on, get with the program. What's going on? And I say to you, imagine, visualize, God has descended. Just visualize it. And when He looks at you, you want a compassionate God, don't you? Not one that seeks retribution and revenge. Not one that is tit for tat, an eye for an eye. You've had enough of that on the human plane with human beings, because we're not remembering God's light. We're not remembering Baba anymore. I want you to think about this for a little bit. Don't you prefer a compassionate God rather than a God that judges and criticizes and steals and takes and lies to you and cheats? Is that the God that you pray to? Would the God that you pray to say blacks are not good, whites are not good, Chinese, Indians are not good? This energy of the Supreme is an energy of love and freedom. And I'm not saying that you just continue to remain free in your thinking and behavior if there isn't enough understanding of the deep principles of human spirit. Give a society freedom without principles, it will destroy itself. You can offer every individual in your country freedom, but if you don't back up the freedom with principles and values as a supporting tool to maintain your freedom, there will be chaos in your society. Who are you to tell me? I'm free to take my guns. I can say what I want. This is the First Amendment, Second Amendment, 10th Amendment. But nobody talks about the principles and the values to support that level of freedom. So I ask you, if you placed God in a war room, would He tell you to release a bomb on His own children? That's where something is missing here. And people will go to church, and they will pray to God, and they will say, bless them. May those who seek peace find solace in you. But they've released the bombs on His own children. Do you understand? The principles are missing. The values are missing. My dear friend Dr. J. Spates, who will be with us on November 2nd at the Meditation Museum for the Meditate the Vote, sent me a very nice article, which I thought that he wrote this, and I thought that I wanted to share it with you because for me it connected to the importance of not only your seer or your prophet or your avatar or your guru, but to think of yourself just within you and being able to kind of access this idea, this ideology, living by prescription. If I had to direct a reader to one quote in my new book, 7 Days with Adam, which you can get on Amazon, that best represents Adam's core message. It would be about living by prescription. Hear this. You have heard the words, seek and ye shall find, or knock and it shall be opened unto you. This knowledge has always been there. One must open up and transcend, living by prescription, allowing others to tell you what to believe about God and life, and freely accepting it. This is a powerful message and speaks directly to how many choose to live our lives, and that is living by prescription. Living by prescription means you accept what others say and do and determine the direction your life will take, but you're not propelling your own ship down life's waters. From the moment we open our eyes in this world, major decisions have already been made for us. For example, many of us are baptized into religions not of our own choosing. Most of us die as loyal adherents to these religions without ever questioning their basic teachings. So true. Then we evaluate any new thought. The Brahma Kumaris and our teachings are very new thoughts. But then we evaluate any new thought or differing opinion about God by countering with the tenets and beliefs from our own religion, which again, that they have never questioned or challenged. Some people never consider that there might be other valid beliefs. Also, they choose to accept the teachings of a particular faith tradition that espouses that their way is absolutely right, and all other ways are absolutely wrong. This is why I actually understand agnostics and atheists far better than those who have defined set of religious beliefs and refuse to keep an open mind. Isn't that a powerful line? In my opinion, agnostics and atheists are merely people who have not experienced God in a compelling way, or who find the way most mainstream religions present God lacking. That line I love. Living by prescription plays out in other areas of our lives, from voting and political party affiliation, where we choose to live, the schools we attend, our careers, and whom we choose to marry in some cases. We are afraid to question or challenge the core values of our communities, families, and institutions, even when those core values no longer serve our needs. This is living by prescription. And he says here very nicely, Adam's message about prescriptive living is grounded in his very being in the book. I'm the energy or the consciousness that set forth a pattern of thought within the collective divine mind, which resulted in the creation of souls and eventually incarnation. This is the essence of Adam, which is why I'm called the father of humankind. Adam, Brahma, all these names where you find leaders who emerge to empower you to be free in your thinking. So many of us have become trapped in conditioned thinking, which we call safe, but it's a prison. It's a prison. So powerful. So this is the essence of Adam, which is why I'm called the father of humankind. I represent the liberating spiritual thought behind this prescription. Adam, the father of free will and thought, the expression of our divine right to question or challenge. He's an example of how we should chart our journey through this plane of existence. We must challenge and question any truth that is presented as absolute, or the best way to live, worship, or do anything else. Life is too short, often difficult and painful. It's also full of great joy and triumph. The duality of life is perplexing. I submit that life is far more rewarding when we step into a reality of our own choosing each morning, where we seek to define truth as we see it and use it as our guiding light for our journey through this realm. We must remember, however, that the truth is based on communion with one true source of all creation. Wow. Dr. J. Spates. Now I tell you to sit with those thoughts in your mind. If you put God in a war room, would he tell you to release bombs on his children? Make this a meme. Send it out. Speak it on the mountaintop. tell everyone until every leader hears this. Invite them into God's heart. And what I took from Dr. J's sharing as well, you can't squeeze God in a religion. He's too compassionate for that. And when people in different traditions, whether you're Baptist, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, whatever it might be, thinking that you are the only ones with an authority of God, actually moves you away from God. It moves you away from Baba's love and Baba's light. Yes, I study my tradition as the Brahma Kumari. Yes, I study my tradition as a Jew. Yes, I'm studying my tradition through the portal of Islam. But the God, who is a compassionate God, belongs to all souls. All souls. Let's take a moment of just reflection on this moment for us. And if you can just sit in your heart just for a moment. Take a breath in. Call God into your heart. Call Baba into your heart. Jehovah, Krishna, Khuda, Bhagwan, Allah, the Supreme Being. Call Baba into your heart. Baba, I'm here to be in your company, to be reminded of the way you've made me in your image, an image of divinity, dignity, grace, love for all, peace, and purity. That's your image. I sit here in my own company, with you hovering all around me, protecting me and filling me with positivity. Removing within the soul memories, deep memories, deep impressions of the past, might have been traumatic, selfish, hurtful. But Baba, your love flowing through me removes it from my being. And I know I need to spend more time with you every day. And I let the sounds of the outside world pull my attention away from your love. But you're a compassionate God, a compassionate parent. You're the supreme of compassion. And so I come to you with compassion in my heart, accepting what I couldn't change, but also accepting this is my moment of change. By just being in your company. By simply thinking of your light and experiencing the qualities that come from the light. Love, power, peace, wisdom, joy. You make me benevolent. You make me compassionate too. I thank you. Om Shanti. Sometimes I think to spend 8 hours in that state when I'm walking and moving around and conducting business, the kind of a fragrance that would be created in our world, there'd be world peace, there'd be a golden age. And that's why we're doing this, That's why we do what we do in our practice and teachings at the Brahma Kumaris. Is that wherever a student is, God is there, peace is there, love is there, purity is there. There's a consciousness of accessing this energy, just like changing clothes. Let's take a look at awakened intelligence, and if God was to be a compassionate God, to be a compassionate God means embodying an infinite and unconditional love, understanding and mercy toward all creation. A compassionate God is characterized by qualities such as empathy, patience, and kindness, extending grace and forgiveness even in the face of human shortcomings. Huge. This kind of divine compassion suggests a deep awareness of the suffering and struggles of individuals, and a willingness to provide comfort, guidance, and healing. In various religious traditions, compassion is often seen as one of the highest attributes of the divine. It conveys the idea that God cares intimately about each person's well-being and seeks to elevate suffering and foster a sense of peace and wholeness. Compassion in this sense goes beyond justice or retribution. It offers a path toward redemption and transformation through love and care, inviting people to trust in divine support and to cultivate compassion in their own lives as a reflection of that divine nature. Beautiful. Are you feeling compassionate this morning? Let's feel the compassion now of my beloved Sister Gita. Here's the Sister Gita effect.
Pure thoughts. You are what you think. Love, purity, peace, wisdom. The more you think of these things, the more you will become them. Weaknesses blows out of proportion in yourself or in others. Invite negative thinking. They will destroy your being. Learn how to shift your focus. Instead, think like this. Though I am not yet pure, I want my purity. God is leading me to my destination, so I definitely will become pure. When you build a house, every brick counts. When you build character, every thought counts. I will not become pure unless I think about it first.
She's just a little angel. All right, so for today's Avyakt signal, you celebrate a meeting now with God. And the greatest meeting, though, is to get along with each other, to harmonize your sanskaras with one another. When you can get along with all types of people, when these sanskars are harmonized, there will be cries of victory. For this, imbibe the virtue within you of sweetness. Don't speak sharp or taunting words that hurt others. And when you meet someone, greet one another by shaking hands. When you meet someone, you greet one another by shaking hands, whereas here, it is a meeting of sanskars of love. When everyone's sanskars become similar and the same as God the Father, the world will become one kingdom and one religion. Wow. Shout this one to the mountaintop. So what Baba is saying is when we can really practice this art of getting along with each other, the world will become like one. One God, one kingdom, one Father. I mean, this is huge. All right. Okay, so did everyone enjoy today's session? Good morning, Sonia C. and Jasvine, Deepika. Hi, Deepika. Jackie Wood. Okay, Woodside. We need this kind of discourse to challenge the current thinking. We need to speak up, be heard, share the truth that we are one. True, Jackie. Very true. Hi, Gushali. Hi, Tulsi, Gigi. Travaqua. I never thought of God as compassionate in this way. Eye-opening. Travaqua, that is great. Oh, I'm so glad. True it is. When you go inside of yourself and you intimately connect, when you become soul conscious, when you start to believe and understand all the good qualities that you are as a soul, you can feel your energy expanding when you can sense God is now come to you. The consciousness of God's vibration is there, and no focus on what's wrong with you. Only filling you up with more goodness and more love. That's compassion. Compassion says, don't look at my weakness and push me down. Or compassion says, don't come to save me and then you drown. Compassion says, I know you're struggling, but it's okay. You're going to be great. I'm here. I've got you. Pulls you out of it. It goes on. Next. I love it. Compassion is such a great virtue. Hi, Dr. Christine Kaisinger. How are you? Such a timely and powerful message. I'm dedicated to being peace, especially now. Anil Gupta, Om Shanti. Compassion is really powerful. Thank you for sharing this wisdom. App Store. This series is truly transformative. So grateful for these teachings. Very glad. Certified locally is such a beacon of light. Thank you. D-Rise. Each part of these series has opened my eyes more. Thanks, Dinesh. I'm so glad. Can't wait to implement these teachings in my daily life. That's the big part, right? Right? Right, Dinesh? Very true. Hi, Lilawati. Lots of healing energy to hubby. And hi, Gali. You're new. This series just keeps getting better. Insights on compassion are so inspiring. Thanks, Gali. Hello, Anita. Hi, Aunt. How are you? Kailish. Diamond. I hope you're doing better. Thanks for coming out to help us in Seva the other day, but I hope you're doing okay. Joanne, Chaya, Darlene, Shobha, Samantha, Indu, Om Shanti, good morning. Rashmi Ben, thank you. Nice to see everybody on. And yeah, compassion is such a beautiful quality that if we apply it more and more, we'll feel we're very closely connected to God. God is our best friend, our everything. Even if you're an atheist or an agnostic, you're still God's child. You just might be feeling, I want God to be expansive and compassionate, not judgmental and critical and cruel. I don't want Baba to be that for me either. There's got to be some soul out there that's got just love in their hearts for me. And that's the God soul. Hey, let's reduce our attachments because it makes things very complicated. And in order to reduce your attachment, just practice loving everybody the same. Okay? Om Shanti. Take care.